Once again, welcome back to Bricks at War. Today, we're going to take a look at my Lego Military Air Show. Thanks for joining us today at Bricks at War. Today, we're going to take a tour of my Lego Military Air Show. So, we're going to get started down here with the far end of the board. First off, we're going to hit the A10. Now, this is the original Brickmania version of the A10. Oh, probably maybe 6 years ago or so. I know they've put out another version of this, but this is the original, and it still looks good. I've kept a couple of these together. At one time, I had 4 of them for a display. You may have seen that online before, but I've got a couple left, so we've got it out. And of course, we've got some people on the board taking time to talk to the pilots and so forth. And then we've got some brick designer hardware here that is used to load the ammo into the plane itself. And then I've got some self-made ground equipment as well. And then over here, we've got our stealth helicopter. Once again, another Brickmania kit. And of course, this has been made famous by the raid on bin Laden. Got a pilot out there. He's talking to the fans out in here. And then we've got a Land Rover display. You want to sign up to win a free Land Rover, that's the spot you're going to do so. And then down here, this is the tower. And of course, they're watching the actual planes out in the air flying. And this is the announcer. He's giving everybody in the crowd what's going on. And then we've got the audio mixer here. And then, of course, some base personnel up there on the tower watching as well. Over here, we've got a little food ice cream truck. So if you need to grab some ice cream, you do so. We got a coffee cart out here. If you're want a cup of coffee, iced coffee, that's the place to get it. And then we've got some marine hardware here. We've got a F-35B version. This is the vertical takeoff version. And then over here, we've got some World War II material on display with some guys dressed up in World War II uniforms, talking to the crowd and so forth. We got some crowd members watching the air show that's taking place. Some security personnel. Then we got the donut truck out here. You can grab yourself a donut. And then we've got a Marine Corps Osprey on display, which is the original. Once again, I think Brickmania has made a more current version. They may be on a 3rd version by now, but this version really like. I've got a couple of these that I have together all the time just in case I need them for a display. So we got this one out of the box and put it together. Over here, we've got a Reaper drone, and we've got some people hanging around there taking a look at the Reaper. This is another great model from Brickmania, and the instructions for this are available online, so you can pick the instructions up for, I think, $10 or so, and put it together and have yourself your own Reaper. And then over here, we've got firefighting display. They're out here showing their wares off and do a little public time and just talking to the crowd, showing them all the hardware and the equipment. We get the rescue truck out here and an engine truck. And then we've got a squad rescue truck as well. And then we've got a Easy Up with some guys. Let's see if we can get a good shot of there. Yeah, they're in there displaying some firefighting hardware and so forth that they use on a daily basis. And then here's one of our food tents. These guys are selling hot dogs. Got the barbecue going with some hot dogs on it, and of course some beer if you want it. And then some more crowd members watching the air show take place. A few policemen walking around, keeping the peace for everybody. And then we've got a pizza vendor out here. He's got his little pizza truck, and he's selling some pizza to the crowd. We got some people waiting for that. Next on the aircraft lineup here, we've got the F-16 Fighting Falcon. And it's drawn a pretty good crowd here. along with some more ground hardware equipment. Moving on to another food vendor here, we've got the hamburger truck out here serving up some hamburgers to the crowd. And then we're going to go over to the Chinook. The Chinook, another great aircraft here, helicopter. Iconic look to it. Following that, we've got a Viper on display here, Marine Corps Viper. And we've got some crowd around there taking a look and talking to the personnel that operate that aircraft. That's a two-seater. It's a good view of the runway all the way down. We've got 14 aircraft on display, I believe. Here we've got a hot dog vendor. He's selling some hot dogs to the crowd. And then we've got kind of a World War II display going on here with a B-17G and a fuel truck from World War II. And then we've got some family members here taking some pictures of each other in front of the World War II staff vehicle. Move around this way a little bit and catch the backside of the B-17. Got a couple RVs here for people to rest in throughout the day as the show goes on. And then over here, we've got the Super Stallion on display and some people hanging around here, checking that aircraft out and that helicopter. And then we've got this funny family visiting, and apparently one of them doesn't realize they're not actually supposed to get on the aircraft. So the father's taking care of that. And then we're going to take a look at our next aircraft, which is the Little Bird, used by Special Forces to insert. Then we've got the Army out here on display with some of their hardware, Humvee, and then an Air Force fuel truck out here as well. We've got a drone flying over the top here. That's being controlled by the Army, just giving the crowd an idea of what they can do. And then one of my most favorite aircraft in my collection is a F-22 Raptor. She looks really good out here. And then we've got some Air Force personnel, security guards, keeping the crowd away because you can take a picture of it, but they don't want you touching it. So a little bit of that going on. Take another pan over here on the backside of the Osprey, the F-35. Of course, like any air show, we've got several bathrooms set up and people are waiting to use those. And then over here, we got a couple more easy ups with some food vendors, some people waiting to buy some hamburgers, hot dogs, and drinks, of course. A couple more police officers. And then we've got security personnel over here. All right, we're going to pick back up on this side of the A-10 where we started and the stealth helicopter, and then we're going to roll around. We've got ourselves another food vendor out here selling some cotton candy. And then we're going to move on to the F-117 stealth fighter, which is always a great looking aircraft. Once again, another set where you can buy the instructions and the stickers for less than, I believe, $40 and build your own. Now, this was a tough build, not a build for everybody. You probably should have a few years of Lego construction under your belt. That's a tough one to put together. And then we've got one of our sponsors, vendors, the Brickmania tent, with lots of people hanging out looking to buy some Brickmania kits. And also we've got Brick Warp on site. Lando's here with his Jeep, and they're selling some Brick Warp material at the Brickmania tent. And then over here, We've got some security personnel. We've got the police mobile command set up, and they've arrested a pickpocketer. They're going to process him, send him on downtown. And then over here, we've got the medical ambulance where they're treating somebody for heat exhaustion underneath the Easy Up. They're going to get some fluids into him and get him back out to the show. And last but not least, of course, we've got ourselves a news truck. These guys are going to do some filming throughout the afternoon. They're talking about what they're going to do, and they'll go out there and do their thing. So that's my Lego Air Show, my Lego Military Air Show. We sure hope you enjoyed the tour today. Once again, don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, leave us a comment of anything that you saw or if you got any questions. And we sure hope you enjoyed this particular display. Have a great day.